let's create a series of strips that will include your favorite phrases or lines of a poem. For this particular script, you have to do some preparation. The first thing to do is you will have to create a text document in Notepad with all the phrases you want to use. So you can have a poem, you can have other kind of phrases, but as long as you have only one phrase per line, that's it. And then you save it wherever you want. It has to be a text file. Then you will go again and open in Notepad. You will have to open the script itself. And in the script, you will see here beginning of user-defined variables. You have two changes to make. One is to add the list of phrase, the path for that file. So for that, I just go into my Windows Explorer, and this is the file I want. So once I click on the file, on top here, I just have to copy this path. So Control C, I go back to the script file and I'll paste this here. And I have to add also the name of the actual file because otherwise the program won't know which file to use. The second part is the fonts. You can select the fonts ahead of time, especially if you want to use some specific fonts, or you can let the script ask you to select the font while it runs. Either way is fine. These are the two just set by default, but if you want to add more fonts, you can go into your PaintShop, activate the text tool, choose the font you want, and while it is active here, you can right click, copy, and then you go back to the script file. You can add another one here, or you can replace the ones that are there. So I can add the comma, an apostrophe, and I paste the font and I close with another apostrophe. You can add as many fonts as you want that way. If, on the other hand, you don't want to have the fonts set ahead of time and you want to select the fonts while the script is running, you would simply put 99 instead. But I'm just going to use these fonts as they are going to make the script a little faster. Once you have changed here the list of phrase and the fonts, you can go and save it. You can save it and overwrite the copy you have, or you can save as, and you can do 01. You can put your name, whatever, it does not matter. It has to be saved in the Trusted Scripts folder. And now you should be ready to start and run your script. If you are using a specific color palette, you might want to have it open, which is going to be making the process easier. And then you go and find the script that you just saved, phrase strips 1. This is the edited version, and you will run it. Now you can choose the size of the text. So if you want to have some thinner strips, you're going to have a smaller font size, or you can go as high as 200 pixels. I'll just use the default. I can have the ends on the left and the right to be straight or angled. In this case, it's going to be random. I'm just going to use straight. And now I want to select a color or a pattern or a gradient for the text. I'm just going to use something very basic, and I'll make the text black. So how many colors I want to use for the background, so the number of colors for the strips of paper. Let's say I have 5 in this case. So I will select them one by one. The first one, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now I can have the edges of my piece of paper to be darkened, have an outline, have nothing, or I can randomize for all three. So I'm just going to use the randomize, which will give more variety. And I can choose the color for the outline. I'm going to select the same color as my font, but you can definitely select something else if you want. And how many sets of strips do you want? This will allow you to have more options, since the choice of colors and decorations are going to be randomized. By having more sets, it lets you choose which ones you will like to keep and simply discard the rest. So I'm going to do 2 sets. And now you can just watch it go. And now you're done. And you can see that all the strips are on separate layers, and each layer being named with the phrase it has. If you want to see more, you can change the canvas size. Let's put 2000 pixels in height, and we can see all the strips that were created in just a few minutes. All randomized in the colors, the outline, or the ends, etc. And now it's up to you to select which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to discard. Now it's your turn to create some phrase strips to match your project. Have fun!